the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
We do indeed have a lot to do today. Just this hour, Bernie Miklasz is going to join us here in 10 minutes to talk about a crazy day for the Cardinals yesterday. Just an unbelievable day, all ups and downs and insanity going on in that final game. We'll get to all of it. We're going to be joined by U.S. Senator Eric Schmitt. He'll be joining us at 10:30 today on Sports on a Sunday Morning. Recently posted a photo with Chris May, the athletic director at SLU, and head coach Josh Schertz. What's going on there, and what are his thoughts on college sports in general? It seems to be the Wild West these days. Are they putting any restrictions on NIL and anything moving forward? We'll talk to Senator Schmitt about that. We'll hear about the Battlehawks, who are going for a playoff spot tonight at 11:05. Chris Blair, Worldwide Technology Raceway general manager, just incredibly emotional last few days. Just a devastating piece of news from NASCAR and from the Busch family on the passing of Kyle Busch. We'll discuss his victory in 2023 at the Enjoy Illinois 300. His final NASCAR Cup victory was here in the St. Louis area. And we'll also discuss just NASCAR in general. But Chris is in Indianapolis at the Indy 500, and we'll get an update on the situation there, what the weather looks like, and they get ready to drop the green flag in about an hour and a half. That's what the scheduled start time is. At 11:15, the president of St. Louis City SC, Diego Gigliani, will be with us. His team won again yesterday, 3-0 over Austin. Good momentum for them. Also, the days this summer covering the World Cup. St. Louis City SC is all over that, so we'll get an update on what the activities are there. And we'll also hear from Chaim Bloom, the Cardinals president of baseball operations, with us at 11:30. We end a little early today. 11:45 is Joe Potts pregame as the Cardinals take on the Cincinnati Reds. Cardinals going for a series win. What a story yesterday in that Brian Torres makes his major league debut. Torres spent 11 years in the minor leagues. 11. Now, he was signed as a teenager, but he spent years in the Brewers organization, in the Independent League. He spent a brief period of time in the Giants camp, and he's been in the Cardinals organization for the last few years, and actually did quite a job building his resume there, putting up great numbers, both at AA and at AAA. And yesterday, he got the call. He played left field, and in the second inning, he did this.
Wide open stance. He swings and he gets a hit to left field. He just served that one over the infield, played on a roll by T.J. Friedel. Gorman stops at second. And a 3-hit day, his first day in the big leagues for Brian Torres.
He wasn't done there. That was in Game 2 of the doubleheader yesterday. In Game 1, this is how things started for him.
Not going. The pitch is hit into right field for a base hit. First major league hit for Brian Torres. Outstanding. He looks skyward, looks towards the Cardinals bench, gets the congratulations from Stubby Clapp, and they'll throw that baseball out. Suarez threatening to throw it into the stands, and he's just teasing everyone, of course, and that's going to go into the capable hands of Chris Conroy. And he is very thankful to have that baseball, and Brian Torres very thankful to have his first major league hit.
Cardinals were up 2-1 at that point. They went up 3-1 and then had a runner on for Jordan Walker.
That seems to be happening more and more. The 1-1 pitch is hit hard to deep right center field. That's back towards the track, and it's gone. Big fly, Jordan Walker. He homers into the bleachers in right, his 14th of the year. RBIs at number 37 and 38. And the Cardinals now lead 5-1.
What a year Walker is having. And how about Torres? He gets up in the 9th inning and
deep in the batter's box, the pitch. A swing, and there's a drive. That's hit deep to right field. Back to the track, the wall, and it is gone! The first Major League home run for Brian Torres. And a 2-hit game in his Major League debut. 8-1 Cardinals. And that Cardinal dugout is going wild for Torres. Wynn scores ahead of him. Torres touches the plate. He's congratulated, hugged by Prieto, Mason Wynn. And he'll get the receiving line when he goes down the steps of the Cardinal dugout on the third base side. How about that?
Cardinals win it 8-1.
If I can tell you something is any of this could be possible without God, you know. I'm a true believer, and I'm not a homer guy, and I.
How good does that feel?
Really, really sure that God was with me today.
Was it worth the wait?
Hell yeah. This moment is for life, you know. This is something that I will never forget.
We talked to your family earlier. They're over there in the stands. Your mom, Lisette, she was your first phone call. How meaningful is it to have them here from Puerto Rico?
It's really emotional, you know. My mom was the one who since I was a young kid, I had 4 years old. She lost all her weekends to bring me to the stadium during the week. She always bring me to the park to practice, to play, and she changed all his things to give it to me and my brother. So I'm really thankful to God because I have a mom like that. And man, I just want to enjoy all this moment.
How special is that? With Danny Wexelman on Cardinals TV, Brian Torres, as the Cardinals win that game 8-1. They lost the second one 7-6 in 11 innings. We'll talk it over with Bernie Miklasz when we come back. This is Sports on a Sunday morning from the Stiefel Sports Studio on KMOX.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
At Ophthalmology Associates, their goal is to ensure that every one of their patients enjoys the best possible eyesight at every stage of their life. This is Rick Wallace, and I've been through several life stages with Ophthalmology Associates. I've trusted them with my eye care for almost 30 years. Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer head up a network of leading specialists in every field of eye health. They're involved in leading-edge research and equipped with the latest technology to handle the most complex situations. And there is always personalized eye care tailored to your individual needs and preferences at Ophthalmology and Associates. Oh, yeah, pediatric eye care, too, and a full-service optical shop. Ophthalmology Associates. Visit youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000.
Spring is here. Hi, this is Tim Gamma.
And I'm Tom Gamma.
When it comes to tree care, call the name you can trust. Gamma Tree Experts, founded by our dad, Frank Gamma, in 1954.
Frank will be 91 this year, and the third generation of Gammas have joined the business.
Call our team of certified arborists to inspect your trees and shrubs today. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. Now in our 72nd year.
For pruning, fertilization, and removal, call Gamma Tree Experts today or visit us at gammatree.com.
Your trees deserve the best care.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
Yep. So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
Yeah, and now at Staples, save 40% on custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, banners, and more.
Big news! Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. In 613, exclusions apply.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We're joined by Dr. Lewis Thomas.
You know, always a tough situation every year where I see a patient who, you know, was chalking up some blood in the urine to, you know, exercise or thinking they had a kidney stone or something like that, and ends up kind of getting a delayed diagnosis of bladder cancer. So I can't stress it enough. If you see blood in the urine, make sure that you're talking to a urologist and talking about getting a workup to rule out bladder cancer.
Go to siteman.washu.edu.
Carpal tunnel syndrome.
heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Big guest list today. U.S. Senator Eric Schmitt will be with us at 10:30. It'll be Chris Blair from Indianapolis Motor Speedway at 11:05. Diego Gigliani of City at 11:15. Chaim Bloom at 11:30. You wouldn't want anything other than that, would you? On Sports on a Sunday morning, big guest list. Look at this. Bernie Miklasz is with us. He is with us every Sunday, but we get him a little earlier today with the shorter show. Hello, Bernie.
Controversial decision by Tom Ackerman to put me in the leadoff spot.
I love the leadoff spot for you. You got a high OBP. I've been talking about it all year. It's about time we got you back in the leadoff spot, big dog. We are sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, and it's a pleasure, as always, to have you. Well, let me start with what I talked about in the opening segment. I thought that was a very special story. Yes, it was a roller coaster of a doubleheader, and there are so many things to sort out in a transaction that just happened. But let me start with Brian Torres, because we love good stories, and that is a great one.
My gosh, this young man played 913 games of professional baseball in all over the world. 913 games before he got a chance for his first major league game yesterday. I mean, I know people are familiar with the outline of the story, but if you think about it, if he hadn't gotten called up, who knows? He would have gotten to the end of the season, maybe 1,000 games without ever making the big leagues. And yet here he is. And to have the kind of day that he had, to show everyone that he was absolutely worthy of this opportunity. He was ready for this moment. It wasn't too big for him. He wasn't jumpy. He wasn't nervous. He wasn't like swinging at stuff. What I thought was really cool, don't get me wrong, man, the home run was the coolest. But Brian Torres had a rep, in the Memphis and Springfield after the Cardinals, took him to the organization, of just taking great at bats and drawing walks and just making pitchers throw strikes. So what does he do? His first big league plate appearance. I mean, I don't know how many pitches it was, but he made the Reds pitcher just throw a bunch of pitches, and he drew a walk. So right away, he showed you what he did. But I mean, I think it's an inspirational story for anybody. But if there are, young athletes out there, they wonder, like, I'm not going to make it. I don't have a chance. I'm just going to have to hang it up. This guy, I think people are going to be talking about Brian Torres for a long time, the perseverance he showed.
I agree. I think it's an awesome story, and one certainly for kids to emulate. 28 years old, and he gets it done. He is a major leaguer and can always call himself a major leaguer, and who knows where his career goes from here. Cardinals have made a series of transactions this morning. They sent their 27th player from yesterday, Ryan Fernandez. He was really good. A return to Memphis following last night's game. They have optioned Matt Swanson to AAA Memphis. A lot of people were wondering when that was going to happen. And they have called up a player who was selected in the second round of the 22 draft. Pitched for the single-A Palm Beach Cardinals in 23, high-A Peoria in 24, made 25 starts for double-A Springfield in 25. He was added to the 40-man at the end of 25 to protect him from the Rule 5 draft. Optioned to AAA Memphis to begin this season. Bernie Miklasz, Bryson Motts has been recalled from AAA Memphis.
I think that's a really exciting move. I mean, I really do, because you talk about a guy who has earned an opportunity. He definitely has. Wasn't he their minor league pitcher of the year last year?
Yes, he was.
I think he was. Yeah, and he's a left-hander who is very competitive against right-handed batters, but he absolutely smothers left-handed hitters. And I know the Cardinals have been using him as a starting pitcher in the minors, where he's been outstanding. I mean, how about this consistency? Double A last year, 2.98 ERA. This year at Memphis, 2.90 ERA. He doesn't walk a bunch of people, you know. So, well, sometimes he does a little bit, but that's true of everybody. But he's just got really, really good stuff. And I don't know what Ollie Marmol has said about it yet. Yeah, I don't know whether they plan to use him as a sixth starter or he'll go immediately in the bullpen. I would think that he definitely can help him in the bullpen. I think it's obvious that if it's not him, the Cardinals could use another lefty in the bullpen for sure, because Jojo Romero can't handle all the high leverage situations. And Justin Brule is Justin Brule. No offense, but that's not what you want as for a second shutdown lefty. Maybe Bryson Monts becomes that.
I agree. And we'll see what happens there moving forward as the Cardinals play today. It's going to be a 12:40 start. Matthew Liberatore is starting for the Cardinals today. Last night, Bernie, I was driving back from Murray, Kentucky. I was down there this past week calling the MVC baseball tournament, doing a little college baseball. It was a fun time, although we had a lot of rain, so we got pushed back a day. So Saturday was a travel day for me. I'm driving back last night. I listened to the game, but I decided just for fun to switch over to the Reds broadcast. I wanted to hear Jeff Brantley, our former reliever here in St. Louis, and Tommy Thrall call the game. And I listened as the Cardinals put 2 on the board in the ninth to tie the game. It's kind of fun to hear the other side of it. Of course, they were let down, but they were impressed with how the Cardinals were able to do it. And then ultimately, they lost the game 7-6. Bernie, just your overall thoughts on that crazy game last night in which the Cardinals were not going to go away. Even after giving up 5 runs in the 5th, they put up 3 in the 6th, 2 in the 9th, and ultimately lost 7-6.
I mean, first of all, the Jordan Walker 3-run homer, listen, as great as a bat, his first major league bat that Brian Torres took, Jordan Walker, that was the best at bat I've seen by a Cardinal this season in hitting that 3-run homer. I mean, the Jordan Walker of last year and the year before, automatic strikeout in that situation, right? Because he laid off some pitches that were close. They were close to the strike zone, but out. He laid off some pitches that he used to hack out last year, and he got his pitch, and he put the Cardinals back in the game, reducing a big deficit to 1 run with 1 swing of the bat. And I thought, how about Jordan Walker? It just gets better and better. And, you know, Tom, I know that this wasn't the exact question you asked me, but I was so excited by the day that Jordan Walker had, you know, homering in both ends of the doubleheader. I mean, he sits in Major League Baseball as the 5th best player in terms of wins above replacement, and he leads the National League in OPS plus, and he's 4th in the majors in slugging, and he's, I mean, on and on and on. He's up to 42 RBIs. He's got 15 home runs. I mean, on and on and on and on. What a talent. What a talent.
It's amazing. It really is.
It is.
And it was great to hear their broadcast, the respect they showed. They said, here comes Jordan Walker. I mean, just a year ago, you're like, hey, here comes Jordan Walker. Let's get a strikeout and move on. Now you're looking at one of the best hitters in the game right now.
He is. I mean, that's statistically verified. And you know what I think makes it even more special is because he went through that 2-week stretch after his initial surge where he was hitting home runs every day for a while, it seemed like. And he looked really bad for 2 weeks. He did. I mean, he's striking out like 40% of the time. And we're all kind of, what does this mean exactly? And my gosh, he stayed calm. He stayed confident. He gathered himself, got back to, you know, implementing exactly what he's got to do to be successful. And he has been, after that 2-week lull, he has been even better than he was before the lull. I mean, what does that say? So he is amazing. And I thought my only disappointment, the Cardinals, so many guys stepped up big time. You mentioned Ryan Fernandez. I mean, just there were so many guys contributing in that second game to get them back in the game and to get it to extra innings. I'm disappointed they couldn't win, but that's just me being greedy simply because you and I have talked about this. It's not that I'm being negative. Like, I thought they should have won the game. You know why? Because I respect them so much that I now expect them to win those kind of games.
I agree. A great move to put Jose Fermin in there. He hits a home run.
Right.
And then Pozo becomes the catcher. And I said out loud when Ellie was at first base, I'm like, Pozo might throw him out. And, because and Pozo does, they review it, of course, but he's out at second base. It was just a great throw and a terrific play. And it's remarkable the depth the Cardinals have at catcher. But my beef is I just can't get over this ghost runner at second base. I just hate it. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't like this. And even when the Cardinals win, I'll say the same thing. I just think it's a gimmicky thing that they don't need.
I'm with you. I don't hate it anymore because I'm so used to it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought when they put it in, I thought this was Rob Manfred, trying to artificially create some kind of excitement. I like when things happen organically. Yeah, you can make the game better, and he has taken some steps to make the game better. But one thing about baseball is an incredible tradition, and all of a sudden he changed the very structure of how baseball is played and how a baseball game is carried out by introducing basically, you're putting a stuntman on second base, like and you're turning it into some kind of circus act, and I just can't stand it. I really can't.
Yeah, it's tough. So the Cardinals go for a series win today. Final thing, Bernie. I mean, after all that yesterday, after all of that, you look at the standings and look who's in second place all by themselves. The Cardinals are actually in front of the Cubs now. The Cubs are in an absolute tailspin. They've lost 7 in a row. The Brewers lost as well. So the Cardinals, in splitting that doubleheader, are now in second place, 2 games out with a monster week ahead. The Brewers and the Cubs after this one.
Yeah, the Cardinals sitting with the 8th best record in baseball. One of the cool things about Memorial Day, we're just about there. 4 of the top 8 teams in baseball right now, in terms of winning percentage, have bottom 10 bottom 10 payrolls. 4 of the top 8 teams have bottom 10 payrolls, including the Cardinals. You know what that tells me? Number one, front offices have never been smarter. Number 2, there are players everywhere. You just got to be smart enough to find them, So I like that trend in baseball. But the Cardinals got to win today. No, it's not a must win, but that was a very disappointing, series loss to the Pirates. And I don't want to see them get into a thing. Now, listen, they can fight their way out of it. I just don't want to see them get into this habit where, all of a sudden you lose 2 series in a row. Then you got to go to Milwaukee. And that's the hottest, certainly the hottest team in the National League right now. They play great baseball. Going in there to win a series is going to be really difficult. So I'd hate to see it 3 series in a row, coming home to play the Cubs. It's still early, but man, as TLR used to tell us all the time, man, you just got to keep stacking up those series wins. It doesn't matter. You don't have to sweep. You just win a series. So I hope the Cardinals get that series in the bag today.
Good to talk to you, my friend. Have a great holiday weekend. We'll catch up with you real soon.
Love being with you, Tommy. Take care.
Thank you. Bernie Miklasz with us on Sports on a Sunday morning. We'll come back. Missouri U.S. Senator Eric Schmitt joins us live on KMOX.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. It's a great time to buy a brand new home, and the Reserve at Wildwood is where you want to be. Park-like setting with front porches on every home, connected trails for exploring, walk to Main Street and Wildwood Town Center, top-rated Rockwood schools, and legendary McKelvey quality you can count on, featuring James Hardy siding. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and learn what makes the Reserve so special. It's time to move up to McKelvey.
I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
Memorial Day weekend, spending time with friends and family, and when it starts to clear up today, you'll be outside on your patio or deck. If you've been looking at your outdoor living space and thinking, I got to make some adjustments here, let's take a look at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. ChesterfieldFence.com. They've been doing this for years and years, going back to 1968, the best when it comes to fences, decks, patios. They can even do sunrooms, screen rooms. You can see them all for yourself when you go to their showroom in Chesterfield Valley. It's outstanding. Go to Chesterfield Valley. Actually, just start at ChesterfieldFence.com and see it for yourself, and then you can advance to attending for free any of their materials there, their sunrooms, screen rooms. Just walk right through their showroom, and you're going to be blown away. They'll do a free in-home consultation. Free. There's nothing to lose. Just let them talk you through it. They are awesome. Chesterfield Fence and Deck. And mention me, Tom Ackerman. You'll receive 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project with Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The sign you have the very best.
KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
Lifestyles Unlimited is a real estate education group that gives you the roadmap and resources to start building income through real estate. You'll learn practical strategies for using investment properties to create extra income and make informed decisions, one step at a time. Join today for just $297. That's a 60% savings off the regular price of our real estate education program. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Indianapolis 500 is today, and you know who's driving the pace car? Curt Cignetti, the head coach of my alma mater, the Indiana Hoosiers. I'm so happy for him. Very excited about it. We're going to be talking Indy 500 with Chris Blair at 11:05. Right now, speaking of college sports, it is a visit with Missouri U.S. Senator Eric Schmitt back on KMOX. Love talking sports with the senator. How are you doing this morning?
I'm great, Tom. How you doing?
Doing great. I watched the White House visit of Cignetti and the Indiana Hoosiers, and I was so happy, just beaming watching it. I hadn't been there since the Cardinals were there in 2011, and I remember it so well, just vividly. So I'm watching the Hoosiers, and President Trump turns to talk about NIL, and he goes, boy, we really screwed that up, didn't we? And he goes, but you seem to have worked out just fine with it, and everybody had a good laugh with it. And it was a funny moment, but it did make me think about NIL and kind of where we are. It is just a strange world right now in college sports, isn't it?
It is. And it, on one hand, it has allowed programs, college football, for example, here, for the Indianas, the Mizzous, the Ole Misses to sort of rise up and take on the blue blood programs because they have more opportunities to compete for more players. However, the system now, the pendulum has swung. It's very chaotic and not really sustainable. I mean, the business model effectively for college sports has been that the college football programs generate the revenue and can subsidize all the non-revenue sports, the women's sports, the Olympic sports. Well, if you're losing money in your college football program, I mean, Rutgers is an example, Penn State is an example recently, all of a sudden there's a big concern that we won't have those same opportunities for those student athletes. It will affect our performance in the Olympics. Baseball is a non-revenue sport. Of course, women's sports and Title IX implications. And so I think the kind of the trajectory of all this, Tom, is that if you would have asked me 2 years ago or 3 years ago, does Congress or the federal government have any role in college sports, I would have said been very, very skeptical. But the truth is, because of all the litigation that's happened, Tom, over the last decade, there is no governing body that can make any rules. The NCAA doesn't have the ability to make any rules on transfer, on eligibility, for example. There's a lot of nefarious agents in the marketplace taking advantage of players. And so Congress is the only entity on the planet that can grant that antitrust exemption for the NCAA or some other governing body to create those rules that can stick, like you can transfer once or twice. You got 5 years of eligibility. Right now, none of that stuff exists. And so it's really kind of created a lot of chaos. And there's also a revenue piece to this. One other point is that NBA, NFL, MLB can all in a unified way negotiate with rights holders for the broadcast of their games. College football can't do that because they don't have the antitrust exemption. So one of the things I'm working on, is allow college football to go do that. In one stat, the NBA has half the audience of college football and twice the revenue, about $8 billion. College football has, outside of the NFL, the most eyeballs on it every week. It generates about $4 billion all in. So if you can negotiate collectively in a unified rights deal, the amount of money that college football could generate then would be staggering, and then support those women's and Olympic sports. So there's a solution here. We're working on it, but ultimately as a fan, more than anything else, you want to make sure that you've got the ability to watch these games and that programs can thrive. You're protecting women's sports, and you have some rules that can stick.
Something that you said in there really concerns me, actually, and I was going to bring it up, and you already said it, is nefarious agents. I mean, there are so many people involved in this. People have no idea. I mean, not technically, but like, couldn't Drew, our producer, or me for that matter, just say we're an agent? I mean, I could just go get a player and say, I'm his agent. So, and then play a school against each other.
That happens. And there's examples of, players leaving because you've just got a friend or a hanger-on or something that purports to be the representative. And then the student athlete, I should say, enters the transfer portal in a worse situation than in a lesser program with less money. Now that quote-unquote agent has made his cut, right? He's made his cut. So there's a churning that's happening, and a lot of these student athletes are being taken advantage of. So part of this legislation potentially would be that, you have more of a vetting, standard contracts. You can't have these actors that are taking advantage of the student athletes. And so I'm optimistic. I actually think this is one thing. It's bipartisan. I filed a bill with Maria Cantwell from Washington. I mean, she's seen the instance of Washington State and kind of the musical chairs and what happens with conference realignment. And I love the SEC. I love SEC football. It's going to continue to thrive. But I do think we have to have a broader view of college athletics altogether, and how can we make sure that you still have these options for student athletes. But it's crazy how the pendulum, in my view, was on the other end for too long. Student athletes couldn't leave. If a coach left, they were being denied any kind of compensation. I don't have a problem with the student athlete getting paid. I don't have a problem with transfer. The problem is now nobody can say what those rules are because they don't have that antitrust exemption that only Congress can provide.
I recently saw a post of you with Chris May, the SLU athletic director, and Josh Schertz coming off a terrific year for the basketball program. The three of you spending time together. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I went to law school at SLU. As you know, Tom, we've known each other for a long time. A St. Louis native. I love all things St. Louis, and I'm a big sports fan. And so it's just exciting what the Billikens have going on now. And the Schertz is a program builder. I got a chance to spend some time with him right when they hired him. I was a fan from afar of what he had done at Indiana State and the other programs, Division II programs. He just is a guy who gets it. That program, I mean, last year was, I just think, an appetizer of what SLU can be. In my view, be the sort of the Gonzaga of the Midwest. And so I'm personally working very hard to try to get them in the Big East. That is their rightful place. They should have been in there in the beginning. But you look at their profile, a private Catholic institution, matches up very well with schools like Villanova and Georgetown and Creighton and Marquette. Those are sort of the sister schools for St. Louis University. And I think it's a basketball-centric conference, and we're talking about what college sports looks like. The Big East is well-positioned, and as I've talked to their commissioner and university presidents, SLU would come in with a very healthy NIL. It has the number 4 endowment for Catholic institutions in the country. A lot of people don't know that. So they're well-positioned to compete in that league, and I think it would be a great addition for the Big East for SLU to join. So that's one of my projects here. We're working the phones, talking to people about as the Big East looks to expand to make sure St. Louis University is a part of that.
Wow. Can you imagine? I mean, the crowds at Chaffetz are growing as it is. Can you imagine UConn or Villanova or someone coming in here? That's a different deal.
It'd be a blast. You got Georgetown coming in. I just think it'd help elevate. And here's the other thing about the payout, Tom, in the A-10 for a school is about $400,000. A payout in the Big East right now is $7 million a year. Okay, So that makes a big difference for the long-term viability of that program too. And again, we're not trying to sell fool's gold here. It's where they rightfully belong. That is, if you were to look around the country, what are the schools and the programs that look like St. Louis University? They're in the Big East. And so I just think it's something that'd be great for St. Louis. It'd be great for the school. It'd be great for fans to be able to go to those games down at Chaffetz and watch those teams play here.
We're talking to U.S. Senator Eric Schmitt on KMOX. It's 10:40 this morning, and we appreciate you being with us on this holiday weekend. I do note that coming up on June 11th, you got yourself a ball game. Now, are you still the best hitter in the league here? The congressional baseball game is coming up, and you got to be there for the Republicans. You got to get this. Is this your last one?
No. Well, I've still got at least 2 more years left on my term. So
okay.
We'll see what the voters have to say when I'm up in 2028 if I can continue. But, no, it's been fun. I didn't expect it. I didn't really know much about it. It's been a great way for me to get to know a lot of House members because I'm the only senator that really plays. The Senate skews a little older. The average age is 68. So there's not many senators that are on the field. But it's a lot of fun. The stat line's pretty good. I mean, I didn't really see that. Somebody had posted what my what my OPS was. But we practice pretty early in the morning, Tom. It's like 5:45 in the morning, 4:45 St. Louis time. So that's up early. But there's 30,000 people there at the game. It raises, a couple $1 million for charity. It's it's a great cause. And I have a lot of fun with it. I was joking when I was in the outfield last year. I was like, this is what I really wanted to do with my life, was to be in a major league ballpark in the outfield playing for the center field for the Cardinals. But I had to get to the Senate to make that happen, so it's been fun.
I love that you're keeping it going. And do you think I see that you're trying to get the president to be there, or you're hoping that he'll be there?
Yeah, that'd be great. And I'll tell you the other thing too is so we've got a pretty good ball club. We've it's a relatively deep line. Look, all this is there's a low bar here, but it's relative. But we have fun. But an interesting note: Mark Teixeira just won the primary in Texas for a seat and was going to win in November. So I've talked to Teixeira. So he could be on that team next year playing with us. And so I'm already lobbying the coach to make sure I'm hitting, in front of him in the order with the likelihood of seeing some better pitches along the way. So that could be fun next year.
Wow, that's awesome. You are a big Cardinals fan. You're a big St. Louis sports fan. Let me wrap with this because I always do ask you this question. I felt like for a time we were the best sports town in America, or we were considered to be. I still in my heart believe that we are, but I think from the outside that we have competition. How do we get back to being the premier sports city in the United States?
Well, I think, we have a great tradition of hosting. I mean, we're going to have the BMW in town here in August. St. Louis always shows up very well for those events. I think continuing to support, St. Louis Sports Commission, what they do in bringing, whether it's Final Four or those kind of events to town, the Frozen Four, the wrestling championships. I think that's very much still in front of what we've got. As far as professionally, it's just been a different time. I am thrilled, though. I've been so impressed with Chaim Bloom and where the Cardinals are at. I was glad they picked a lane and was going to be excited to see the players that could be part of that next core for the next great team. Well, actually, I think that timeline's a little bit of accelerated. Jordan Walker is one of the best hitters in the league and a great story. J.J. Weatherholt just looks and plays like he belongs. Herrera is just a professional hitter. So you're seeing these kind of core guys develop. The pitching's been better than I expected. So it's just been a fun season. And I think there's, growing up here in the 80s and seeing those teams and then, the La Russa era, there's an ebb and a flow to all of this. And it just feels like this team is really smart. They're stockpiling talent. They're playing well in the field. They're competitive in every game. You got tarps off in the stands. It feels like we've turned a corner here with the St. Louis Baseball Cardinals, and it's a lot of fun.
It's always great to talk ball with you, both college and baseball. Eric Schmitt, U.S. Senator, with us. June 11th is the congressional baseball game, and I know you're very proud of it. I hope that you're competing in that for years and years because they can't do it without you. I mean, you're raking, man. You're absolutely raking.
Well, we'll see. Like I said, it's a low bar, but we have fun. But yeah, it's on Fox. It's on FS1. It's on C-SPAN. So I try to represent my hometown where the Cardinals had and it is a lot of fun.
Appreciate your time. Thank you very much, and for your explanation about your stance on college sports.
Thanks, Tom.
Good to visit with U.S. Senator Eric Schmitt on KMOX. We're going to take a break. We'll come back, get you updated on the St. Louis Battlehawks. They are going for a playoff spot. Also get you updated on some Cardinals news. Chris Blair will be with us from Indianapolis Motor Speedway at 11:05. Diego Gigliani at 11:15. Chaim Bloom at 11:30. It's sports on a Sunday morning from the Stifel Sports Studio, and we'll be right back.
Tarps Off Mania is sweeping Cardinals Nation. But before you take your shirt off, make sure it's a shirt worth taking off. Friday before Cards and Cubs at Busch, the DGS broadcasts live from patios starting at 3 p.m., counting down to first pitch. And Rally House will be on site with gear so good, you might actually want to keep your shirt on. It's your city. It's your house. It's Rally House with DGS live from patios Friday, May 29th.
For women with postmenopausal osteoporosis at high risk for fracture, there's more you can do to strengthen your bones with Evenity. This is the sound of 4 women who think they're doing everything they can. A high fracture risk will cause 3 of them to break a bone in their lifetime. With Evenity, they could be rapidly building new bone in just 12 months. 2 think they already are building bone. And for 1, the game is about to change. To make an appointment, press 2. Because she's calling her doctor about Evenity. Evenity can increase the risk of heart attack, stroke, or death from a heart problem. Tell your doctor if you have had a heart attack or stroke. Do not take Evenity if you have low blood calcium or are allergic to it, as serious events have occurred with Evenity. Signs include rash, hives, swelling of the face or throat, which may cause difficulty in swallowing or breathing, muscle spasms or cramps, numbness or tingling. Tell your doctor about severe jawbone problems as they have been reported with Evenity. Report hip, groin, or thigh pain. Unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred with Evenity. Learn more about building new bone at Evenity.com.
Hey, it's Matt and Leslie Holiday. When we got to St. Louis, it wasn't long before we started searching for a way to give back.
We visited Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, and we knew this is where we belonged.
Homers for Health has been going strong for 15 years and has made such an unbelievable impact on the hospital. I've won a World Series, but I consider the work we have done at Cardinal Glennon to be the greatest achievement.
Yes, your support truly makes a difference. Make your pledge for patients today at homersforhealth.org to benefit the devoted fund.
Just a reminder to have your air conditioner checked for the summer so you don't have a mishap and it goes down in the hottest day of the year. But it's always best to have it done. Call us and we'll be more than happy to come out there and check it for you. And like always, if you're having your furnace checked by another company and you are told that this is the year you need to replace it, call me for a second opinion. The 0% interest is still available on most brands. Save your cash and keep your credit cards open and away from those high rates. Call me. You'll be glad you did. Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest. It is 314-293-2600 or on the website bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last. So don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX. Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Great to be with you. We have a big hour coming next hour. Already great to visit with Bernie Miklasz, and last segment, U.S. Senator Eric Schmitt on a lot of things. How about that? We was talking about SLU and the possibility of the Big East and talking about NIL and all of the things he's trying to accomplish. You can go back and listen. At 10:30 is when we started our interview with Senator Schmitt. And Bernie Miklasz at 10:15. We got into the Brian Torres story starting the show, and we'll talk more Cardinals next hour with Chaim Bloom, the Cardinals president of baseball operations. He has made some transactions. If you have not heard, they did make a move earlier this morning as Bryson Motts was recalled from AAA Memphis. Matt Swanson optioned to Memphis, and Ryan Fernandez, who was the 27th player in the doubleheader and was really good last night, was returned to Memphis following last night's game. Matthew Liberatore and the Cardinals taking on the Reds at 12:40 today. Joe Pott will have pregame at 11:45. Well, there's a lot going on beyond that. The St. Louis Battlehawks are playing tonight. The Battlehawks will be going for a playoff spot if they can get it. The Battlehawks looking to clinch a playoff spot as they have a rematch with Houston. They lost at home to Houston last time around. This time they are playing on the road. And for this Battlehawks team, Luis Perez is their quarterback. He didn't think he had such a great game in that game, but, you know, it's not all him. You got to look at protection. He wasn't very accurate with his passing. Of course, he's got to pick it up. But this is a team thing when it comes to the UFL. The Battlehawks are 5-3. If they win this game, they clinch a playoff berth. It's that simple. 6 o'clock kickoff on ESPN2. It's an 8-team league, so half the teams make it. The top 4 teams make it in the UFL, and the playoffs will start in the beginning of June. So Orlando is 6-2. The Battlehawks and the Defenders are tied for second. They are a game back. Battlehawks, again, are checking in with a record of 5-3. So they're exactly one game behind Orlando, D.C. Orlando, by the way, is coached by a former Battlehawks coach, Anthony Becht. Wouldn't you love to see them take them down? Again, they already beat them once. It'd be kind of cool to see them take them down in the championship. But we'll see. First things first, and that's Houston. Houston's 3-5. They are beatable. And Ricky Prohl, the head coach of the St. Louis Battlehawks, would love to cut down on some penalties. There were 12 penalties committed by the Battlehawks in that matchup last time with Houston. St. Louis City SC with a 3-0 win over Austin yesterday. We'll get into that with Diego Gigliani, the president of St. Louis City SC. Stanley Cup playoffs yesterday. How about the Montreal Canadiens and their goaltender, Jakub Dobeš? He has been fantastic, but yesterday he just ran out of fortune. He made 23 saves, but he let 3 get through, including the overtime winner. That came from Nikolai Ehlers, and a win for the Carolina Hurricanes, the number 1 team in the East. Gets one 3-2 in overtime. Had to have it. I think that was a must-win for Carolina. They go to Montreal down 0-2. They're going to lose that series. But Ehlers gets the win. He had 2 goals and got the winner. He also had a big one to give them a 2-1 lead in the second period, and they win it 3-2 over Montreal to even that series at a game apiece. The Western Conference, the Avalanche are in trouble. They're down 0-2 in the series. They got to go to Vegas and play tonight. That one is a 7 o'clock face-off in Vegas as the Golden Knights have a 2-0 series lead on the Avs. The Avs are playing Cale Makar, their defenseman, but he's been dealing with an upper body injury. He was holding his right arm after getting hit in Game 5 of the last series, and that's really been bothering him. If he's not at full speed, if Colorado plays around here, they're going to go down 0-3, and they're going to drop a series to Vegas. That would be really, to me, unthinkable. I thought Colorado was going to cruise in the Western Conference. I really did. But they're down 0-2, and they play tonight at Vegas, and that one starts at 7. Meanwhile, in the NBA playoffs, Oklahoma City at San Antonio tonight at 7. That game is going to be taking place in San Antonio, and Victor Wembanyama is the star for the Spurs. Meanwhile, Oklahoma City imposed their will on the Spurs, winning 123-108 on Friday night. And with that, they take a 2-1 series lead. So this is a huge one tonight, with San Antonio down 2-1 in the series and hosting the Oklahoma City Thunder. Last night, the New York Knicks, all they did was walk into Cleveland and win 121-108 to take a 3-0 lead in the series. The Knicks are unbelievable. I said it last week, and I'm going to do it right now. My parlay of the day, sponsored by Circus Sports, sports betting the way it should be. I said it last week. Didn't I, Drew? That take the Knicks in the game. Which game was that? It was game 1. They were a 7-point favorite. And I said, take them against the Cavs. Now, when they were getting blasted by the Cavs, I didn't feel very good about that, but they wanted an incredible run to take it to OT, and they end up winning that game. They covered. But my parlay that day was take the Knicks -7 and take the Knicks to win the whole thing. They were plus 540 to win the NBA title that day. Well, those odds have changed a little bit, but I'm still going to tell you. I said it then and I said it now. This is the Knicks season. They are going to win the NBA title. Mark my word. They're going to be, I don't care who you throw at them, Oklahoma City, San Antonio, the Lakers of the 80s. I don't care. The Knicks are going to win the title. And so if you want to take advantage of it now, they are now down. It's a plus 325, so it's dwindling. But if I were to do a parlay of the day, I got the Knicks, and I got the Knicks winning the title. We'll take a break. We'll come back after the news on KMOX.
Hey, Missouri, it's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, when you go to the Audiology Center, you'll see a doctor of audiology. And with us right now, Dr. Colleen Bosler. Dr. Bosler, what are some of the signs of hearing loss?
Well, it's a number of things. Sometimes loved ones notice a person asking others to repeat themselves, or the television is too loud. What people tend to notice first with hearing loss is the loss of clarity. They can hear people talking, but they cannot always understand what's being said. That's because the hearing loss can cause you to miss certain consonant sounds, and those consonant sounds give us the detail to the word. A hearing aid can help bring back those details and give you a sense of clarity that you're missing.
Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center with 3 locations in the greater St. Louis area. Call for an appointment, 636-441-7470. Online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
Ready for a fresh start? The Excel Center in St. Louis is here to help you earn your high school diploma, tuition-free and on your schedule. With convenient locations in downtown St. Louis and Florissant, you can learn at your pace with support every step of the way. Need childcare, career coaching, flexible classes? We've got you covered. Registration is now open. Don't wait to take the next step toward your future. Visit excel.mersgoodwill.org to enroll today. This community message has been brought to you by Together Credit Union.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Clark, as Secretary of State Marco Rubio says there could be good news about a deal to end the war with Iran. President Trump says the deal being negotiated is the opposite of President Obama's deal. That's because the framework of this potential agreement has drawn some criticism, says ABC's Selena Wang in Washington.
We are hearing some alarm and concern from some top Senate Republicans, including from Republican Senator Ted Cruz. He is saying that he is deeply concerned about what he's heard about is in this deal. He says if the result of this is that the Iranian regime can still enrich uranium, develop nuclear weapons, and have effective control over the strait, he says the outcome would be disastrous.
Over 50,000 people forced to evacuate their homes in Southern California because chemicals inside of a damaged tank at an aerospace facility in Garden Grove are at risk of a leak or explosion. The EPA chief told CNN the most likely scenario is a low-volume release. This is ABC News. The sports minister for the Democratic Republic of Congo says there's no isolation requirement for the country's athletes ahead of the World Cup this summer, pointing out they play in Europe. But as the Ebola outbreak continues in the DRC, ABC's Marcus Moore says there is a mistrust of the medical process.
As they try to stop the spread of the virus, health officials are facing numerous challenges in the region.
Community fears, misinformation, and rumors.
That misinformation part of the growing anger and frustration among the public. Last week, a medical tent set ablaze in the eastern part of the country, according to doctors there. A second medical tent set on fire, according to health officials. The Associated Press reporting at least 18 people with suspected Ebola ran from those tents where they were receiving treatment.
One of the biggest days in motorsport, the Indianapolis 500 and NASCAR's Coca-Cola 600, but this year marred by last week's death of Kyle Busch. The NASCAR star was just 41 years old. I'm Brian Clark, ABC News.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 11:02, skies are starting to brighten a little bit. We have a cloudy sky in downtown St. Louis. It's 72 degrees. We'll give you the forecast in just a moment. I'm Tom Ackerman. These are the stories making news. St. Louis County Animal Care and Control is waiving all adoption fees for large dogs this holiday weekend through Tuesday. The shelter is once again facing an overcrowding crisis with more than 170 dogs at ACC. County Health Director Dr. Kanika Cunningham says for weeks they've been over capacity, and having populations that high complicates the ability to provide basic care, veterinary care, and adequate housing for the animals. Remember, if you cannot adopt, you can foster. The shelter on Bauer Boulevard is open from 10 o'clock until 4 o'clock today, Monday, and Tuesday. With a lot of people traveling this weekend, gas prices currently at 4-year highs. Oil analysts warning of a potential supply disaster if the holdup in the Strait of Hormuz continues. Here's Andy Lipow, president of Lipow Oil Associates.
If we were to be so lucky and the conflict would end tomorrow, we would see crude oil prices drop $10 a barrel immediately, and we would start to see gasoline prices come off up to 25 cents a gallon over the next couple of weeks.
Checking traffic in the area, things looking pretty clear at this hour. Again, we are starting to see some skies lighten in the St. Louis area, so the wet pavement will start to dry a little bit. We did have some sprinkles, so be careful. Even though it doesn't look wet, things are a little slick out there still. A stalled vehicle 70 westbound past Hanley has the right shoulder closed at this hour. All lanes are open. Again, that's westbound 70 past Hanley Road. Just the last few minutes, a stalled vehicle in that location. Our weather forecast for this Sunday, we will have clouds for the time being and then times of sun and clouds this afternoon. Looks like some bright sun late this afternoon, a high of 80 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 60. Tomorrow, clouds and breaks of sun and a high of 83. We will see some rain on Tuesday, perhaps a shower or two, and a high of 80 degrees. Currently, it's 72 in Florissant, 73 in St. Peter's. We have a cloudy sky, 72 degrees downtown at the Arch at 11:05.
From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Most importantly, we want to know the weather forecast in Indianapolis. Speedway, Indiana. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's where we find the general manager of Worldwide Technology Raceway, Chris Blair, with us, as always, on this day on KMOX. How are you, Chris?
Hey, it's race day in Indianapolis. Couldn't be any better.
It is
Perfect.
phenomenal. You're reporting for us, as always, from there. Let's get that weather for today. What are you seeing right now, and what are they saying?
It's crazy right now, Tom. It's like a minute ago I had sunshine on me and it was warm, and now I've got clouds on me and I felt a drop, but it was one drop. So let's hope that was it. So it's your typical Midwest weather. I think we're going to see a little bit of everything today, and hopefully, if we can just get past this, there's one little band of sprinkles that's kind of in the area, then they'll have enough of a window to get the race in. So that's what we're all praying for, and hopefully it works out. And if we can get that in, we should be in good shape.
What kind of a window do they need, Chris, in your experience?
But basically, from the green flag, they're probably looking at about 2.5, 3 hours. That's if you take into account the normal number of cautions and things that they have. So about a 3-hour window would be perfect to get this whole thing in.
Chris, I recently moved my daughter out of her dorm in Oxford, Ohio, and helped her pack up and bring everything home. But on my way there, I couldn't help myself. I stopped in Indianapolis. I got on 465, and I headed north. And I didn't have time to go in. I just wanted to take it in. You know what I mean? So on Thursday, they were practicing,
Exactly.
and I drove all the way up to as close as I could get, rolled the windows down so I could hear the cars going by, because you can get really close when you drive by there. They have that little circle drive, and I could hear the announcements of, Ed Carpenter, 217. You could hear everything. It was just amazing to be back there. There is nothing like Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Well, and that's for even when we come up here in the wintertime for our meetings or for the performance racing industry trade show in Indy, we always come by the racetrack and we drop in at the museum, just because this place, if you grew up in the 70s or the 80s like we did, watching the races and with all the legends, it's like when you just step on the grounds here, it feels special. You feel like you're part of history, and this place is just absolutely amazing, very special to me. I know it's special to you with all the experiences you had here. And it's always great to be back here.
It is wonderful. Before we take a look at what's happening tonight, tell me about, is anyone going to beat Alex Palou? Well, I will say this. In IndyCar, you just don't know in this race in particular what's going to happen. I mean, we saw it last year, Chris. I mean, things do happen. I mean, heck, McLaughlin crashed before the race even started, called it the worst day of his life. I give him a lot of credit for standing up and talking about it, not only then, but throughout your promotion of the Bommarito Automotive Group 500. He was wonderful last year. It's a very difficult thing to go through, and there were a lot of wrecks early on.
This is really the hardest race to win, just because I think it gets in everybody's head, the significance of this race. And everybody goes in here, if they know that they can only win one race in their entire career, they want it to be this one. This race is just so incredible. It's so special. And that really messes with a lot of people. It makes or breaks careers. And so that's going on. And it adds a lot of pressure onto the teams and onto the drivers and on the crew chiefs, everybody, to make sure they make the right call. And so that's why you see a lot of surprises here. I mean, who would have ever guessed that Takuma Sato would have been a multi-time winner of this race, or some of the others that have popped up and been surprises. Now, Palou looks really, really good, but again, like you said, anything can happen. And, for me, I'm looking at some of these guys who've always been knocking on the door of greatness, whether it's Connor Daly, who hops in one time a year to get a ride when he can, or you look at Kyle Kirkwood, who won at our place last year. I think he's my pick, because I think he's a sleeper. He's going to come through and get that. And then, David Malukas, new driver for Penske. I think he's got a shot with this as well. And Santino Ferrucci. There's a lot of guys that I'm thinking this is the year we're going to see some of those guys you just wouldn't expect is going to do it, and they're going to really etch their name and end up on that Borg Warner trophy, be part of racing history.
David Malukas spent time with us right here in the KMOX Sports office talking about your upcoming race at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Roger Penske, the captain, is 89 years old. He runs a tight ship over there. Everything is just about perfect. Do you and Curtis Francois and team draw inspiration from what they do to make that race as exciting and as friendly to the fans as it is on race day?
Well, anytime you do anything with Roger, he raises the bar. No matter what it is, he raises the bar and the level of expectations. And, we've always viewed everything we do at Worldwide Technology Raceway as a personal representation of ourselves. But when you then throw the Roger Penske factor in there, we want to make sure Roger isn't disappointed. We want to make sure that when Roger leaves there, he's nodding that, good job to us and our team. So having him involved as the owner of the IndyCar Series, and now with everything we're doing with Fox and being a primetime network race, it makes us work even harder than what we have in the past just to be the best that we can possibly be.
Your race is coming up. It's the first weekend of June. That's race weekend at Worldwide Technology Raceway. And the race, as you mentioned, it's a night race this year, the Bommarito Automotive Group 500. How are tickets going for that, and what is the buzz about what you're going to do? Because I think you're perfectly placed, Chris. I mean, you get to be able to say that you're the race after the Indy 500.
Yeah, we're the first oval race after the Indy 500, the only night race on the Indy schedule for the whole season. The fact that we're on Network Fox, that says a lot as well. And surprising, it was really surprising to us. This is the biggest advance sale we've had since the 2019 event. So this is our biggest one since COVID. The momentum is continuing. We're way up on ticket sales. We're going to have a huge crowd there. And a lot of it are local folks who love the concept of the Sunday night race. I mean, it's kind of like Monday Night Football. It's something totally different, unique. You don't see this in the world of racing, and people are really excited about it, and it's really making it special. And we like to think we're a really special racetrack, not your normal racetrack. This isn't your normal race, and folks can spend their whole weekend doing what they need to do, and then they can cruise out in the evening and see some of the fastest cars on the planet in their own backyard. And it's world-class entertainment right here at home. So we think it's going to be fantastic. We're working on a lot of new surprises, enhancing a few things we've done in the past. It's going to be a great show.
And ever since I started partnering with you in pursuit of a cup race, and now here you are with another playoff race coming in September, I always wondered what it would be like to have the giants of NASCAR running around that track. And it has happened. The Enjoy Illinois 300 is going strong. And the one that stood out to me was Kyle Busch. When Kyle Busch, and I didn't know Kyle Busch, all I knew was what I saw on TV, that he was the villain, that he was the one who loved to stir things up, that he was the one that teams love to hate, but I think they also respected his driving ability. But when he won in 2023, which was his last NASCAR Cup win, I was struck by how kind he was. He gave all of us so much time. He was wonderful to deal with. The following year as the champion, he was wonderful. I remember one time, Chris, being able to hustle back. I did it in my car. They set up a Zoom with Kyle to promote the Enjoy Illinois 300, and I turned on my phone because I was in a rush, and I thought he was going to chew me out. And I open up the Zoom, and he's sitting there with his hands folded, smiling. He's like, "Hey, Tom, how you been?" I'm like, "Great." And we recorded an interview. I'm just so heartbroken at the passing of Kyle Busch, because it was more than Kyle Busch, the driver. As a person, he developed into a wonderful human being.
Yeah, I was very fortunate. I got to watch Kyle grow up. I was in Las Vegas for many years. Kyle was racing at the bull ring that we operated out at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I watched him since he was 15 years old. And through all these things, when we got our race in St. Louis, Kyle was one of the first drivers who reached out to me and said, "I want to help promote your race, whatever we can do to help." Because he loved our racetrack. And, for us, it's really it's been hard to believe that it happened. And just traded some texts with him recently, and it's terribly sad. People don't realize he's the winningest NASCAR driver of all time, cut and dry. Everything he accomplished was amazing, and he started with nothing and got there just through sheer hard work. And he loved every minute of racing. He didn't like to lose. That's one thing I liked about the guy, is he wasn't one of these guys who ever wanted to settle. He always wanted to be a winner, and that's what everybody needs in sports. That's the guy you want. And he loved playing the bad guy, but at the same time, he had a heart of gold, man, and he would do whatever it took to help out his friends, to help out the people who he believed in. And we had a really special bond with him there at our racetrack, and never thought that would be the last time I'd see him win a cup race. But it's always going to be special. And September 13th is going to be a real tough day to try to get through that one.
I know it. It's going to be tough tonight at the Coca-Cola 600. I don't think there's any question about it. I loved Kyle Busch. I mean, I love Dale Earnhardt. I love Tony Stewart. And I love Kyle Busch because those were guys that wanted to win. I mean, look, they have sponsors. They could play the game. They understood the media attention, the sponsors, the camaraderie. They got all that. But in the end, they were there for one thing and one thing only, and that was to win. And tonight is going to be very difficult, I think, for everyone to get through.
Well, even today, as I was down there in the garage, and you see the tributes to Kyle that's on a lot of the cars, and some of the racers that I've talked to, they're all kind of in disbelief too. But the entire IndyCar community, they're dedicating lap 18 to him. There's going to be everybody's going to stand on that lap. There's just so much going on. But he was respected, even in the series that he never ran in. I think you'll even see some of the Formula One guys probably going to be doing some stuff today too, just to pay tribute to arguably one of the greatest of all time. First, he's going to be a definite automatic Hall of Famer. And it's just a shame that we lost him so young.
We'll let you get back to it, Chris. Thank you so much for joining us live from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I know they're just about to get everything officially started there. If you see my man, Kurt Signetti, give him a fist bump for me, will you?
Well, I was just going to let you know, when they introduced him, I think he had bigger cheers than any driver that they introduced. So the crowd here loves the guy. So he's going to be on the gas when he comes around in that pace car. So we're looking forward to that.
I heard he's been practicing. He does not. This guy, all he is about is prep. So I love that.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be good.
Thanks for being with us.
Right,
have a great day today. Chris
right,
Blair
we'll
joining us from the Indianapolis 500, the general manager of Worldwide Technology Raceway. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the president of St. Louis City SC, Diego Gigliani. They won again, 3-0 over Austin. Back after this.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX. And of course, mine for a lot longer than that. And look, it's fantastic fun. You get to play along regardless of the sport, baseball, basketball, hockey. Once we get back to football season, you play along as you go and have a little bit more of that entertainment time. Well, this is your reminder that during the NBA playoffs, you want to be checking in with the FanDuel Sportsbook app every single day, because every single day during the NBA playoffs, FanDuel is serving up a happy hour. So we're talking about special drops that you don't want to miss, from things like profit boost to bonus bets and a whole lot more than that. And then you check for a new reward every single day of the NBA playoffs, and I have been taking advantage of that, so you don't miss your shot to get a little extra out of the action. So just go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get yourself started. And remember that you have to be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable, and restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you're struggling to hear conversations, TV, or the people you love, now there's an easier, more affordable solution without spending thousands. Audion Hearing makes high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98, with free shipping and dedicated one-on-one support in the comfort of your own home. No doctor's offices, no pressure. Clearer hearing delivered right to your door. Join over 1 million happy customers hearing life more clearly. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Get everything you need for the entire job delivered. From lumber to drywall, flooring, and fixtures, get it all delivered from the Home Depot. With same day, next day, or any day delivery. Staying on track and on time is crucial to your job. That's why it's our job to get you what you need when you need it. We deliver the supplies. you deliver the results. Brought to you by the Home Depot.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
So much going on. What a sports day. What a sports weekend this is. And we're joined by the president of St. Louis City SC, Diego Gigliani, after a victory. We always like talking to you, but even better after a win. How are you doing?
I always like talking to you after a win also, Tom. It's good to be here.
Good win. Really good. They're all good wins, but that's a 3-0 win is what it is. I mean, that's how would you describe how you played and how you were able to come away with the victory over Austin yesterday?
Yeah, it was, we're very, very happy to have been able to give our fans that win before this break that we have now. Obviously, winning 3-0 and winning at home is always very, very positive and great news, but then you're also playing against a team who you'll be competing with at the end of the season for those last playoff spots. So that makes it a little bit more important. And then on top of that, to see, different sorts of players score, like Edelman, like Falufal, it's great to see different people get on the score sheet.
Cedric Teuchert, 6 career assists and first for him. What's the future of Teuchert, do you think?
His contract ends now, and we have an option for the next 6 months. We will be having that discussion with him any day now.
Ben Lunt with a clean sheet. That's nice to see. What's the status of Roman Berkey right now? But as for Lunt, it's a nice confidence booster for him as well.
Yeah, great game for Ben. I mean, obviously last week when we played the Houston Open Cup game, it's difficult for him to come on in the first half and play after not having had any minutes yet so far. And he grew into the game and then was critical for us in the penalty shootout. And then to be able to start this game and have a clean sheet, we haven't had a lot of clean sheets this season. So to be able to have it with him in goal continues building his confidence, and that helps the team. So it's great to have him. Berkey obviously is a critical player for us, and we are happy to know that his recovery will be good. And we are sure that by the time the season's back on, we'll be having him in goal again.
How about this stat? Last 5 matches for St. Louis City SC, including Tuesday's U.S. Open Cup win, you are 4-0-1. That has to reverberate through the staff as well so that they know and feel like they're doing the job that they were expected to do to improve this team no matter when or where.
It does. It does give a lot of confidence. I would also say that internally the message we deliver is still one of patience and build. The first half of the season, the first half of the season. So until about a month ago, we were looking at our performances and we were feeling good about how we were playing and how we were improving, but the results were not showing it. We were obviously very far from where we wanted to be from a points perspective, but the message internally was that we are on the right path. Similarly now, all of a sudden, we're, those 4 wins and 1 draw out of the last 5 games, and people can get overly excited, and we're doing the same thing. We're saying, we weren't that bad then, and we aren't that good now. Like this just gives us the ability to continue building, and that's really what we need to get to this window with belief in the process, and obviously strengthen the team now in the window and come back with the rest of the season ready to go.
Just chatted with Chris Blair from Worldwide Technology Raceway. He's at the Indy 500. Boy, that weekend could be some weekend. I mean, the Cardinals are going to be hosting the Reds. The Battlehawks might be playing a playoff game. Who knows? IndyCar has a race at Worldwide Technology Raceway, and you have Bosnia-Herzegovina against Panama. I mean, that is nuts. What a fun time.
Yeah, for all the sports fans in the city, it's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, Panama versus Bosnia is a great game. Both of those are World Cup qualified teams, and we know how much Bosnia means to the city. So, yeah, June 6th is right around the corner. There's still tickets available, and it's a great opportunity to see 2 World Cup teams playing in our doorstep.
I know you're in World Cup mode, and now soccer fans, certainly, I mean, it's here. The reality is that North America is hosting. Tell us a little bit about the Summer of Soccer and what you have planned coming up for fans in the St. Louis area.
Yeah, we've been working hard to make sure that it feels like the World Cup is here in St. Louis. I know we won't have any official games here, but that's not to stop the feeling of the World Cup from being everywhere around here. So we've got lots of things planned, including that friendly match between Panama and Bosnia, but we also have watch parties for all the U.S. men's national team games, including a big one planned for Friday, June 12th. That's the USA team's debut against Paraguay. And it's going to be Friday evening in the summer, 8 p.m. kickoff. So we're going to open up our fan zone at 5 p.m. There's going to be, food trucks and music and, playing football with kids, big screens to be able to enjoy that game and hopefully celebrate the first win. So that's a really big festival that we hope. And then we've got an initiative called 40 Days of Soccer, where we are going to be activating in different locations of the region every day of the World Cup. So going to some iconic locations, but also going to different locations where we have built mini pitches for those communities to use. So 40 days nonstop, a lot of people all over the city.
And you really span the entire area, don't you? I mean, you're over in Illinois, you're out west, you're all over the place. I think this from the beginning, when this team first came into existence, St. Louis City meant that this is your city, this is your downtown, this region's team.
That's the idea. And we do want this club. We've always wanted to be about the community and about bringing the community together and uniting around sports, which we know this city does regularly. So we were able to go to locations as kind of as important to the city, like the Arch or Forest Park, but also those that are authentic to soccer here, like the Hill. And then there's a lot of other destinations planned. We're going to be in Fairmont City, we're going to be in Ballpark Village, and we're really just trying to take soccer out to the community.
St. Louis City SC, the 40 days of soccer celebrations, the summer of soccer. There's so much going on. As Diego mentioned, watch parties, pickup soccer events, prizes galore, lots of stuff going on with the World Cup happening. Final question for you. Where could U.S. soccer go from here? I mean, what does it mean to the sport here in this country? We know that it's the most popular sport in the world. The casual sports fan could come away with something very different here once this is all over.
Yeah, that's the hope. That's the hope. If there's one team I want to be successful in this World Cup, it's USA, because I know what that can do to bringing new people into the sport. And the more people that we have following the sport, the more fans St. Louis City will have. I would say that, not long ago, a couple of months ago, there was a survey of U.S. residents and what is people's number one favorite sport, and soccer is third in the U.S. now. So soccer as a sport continues growing, but the potential around the World Cup in our territory with USA doing great would be amazing.
All you have to do is watch the kids and what they're wearing. They're wearing kits, man. They're wearing soccer jerseys. There's no question about it. Diego, we appreciate you. Thank you for your partnership with us. Thank you for being with us on these Sundays. It means a lot to us, and we hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Congrats on the win yesterday over Austin.
Thanks so much, and great to be here.
The president of St. Louis City SC, Diego Gigliani, paying us a visit here on KMOX. When we come back, the Cardinals president of baseball operations, Chaim Bloom, he joins us before we take you to Cardinal pregame. We have some questions for Chaim, that's for sure. Back in a moment on KMOX.
KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
Working full-time but still falling behind? Learn how real estate education can help you build income and get ahead on your terms. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Spring is here. Hi, this is Tim Gamma. And I'm Tom Gamma. When it comes to tree care, call the name you can trust. Gamma Tree Experts, founded by our dad, Frank Gamma, in 1954.
Frank will be 91 this year, and the third generation of Gammas have joined the business.
Call our team of certified arborists to inspect your trees and shrubs today. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. Now in our 72nd year.
For pruning, fertilization, and removal, call Gamma Tree Experts today or visit us at gammatree.com.
Your trees deserve the best care.
Data centers don't wait, and neither should your supply chain. From power and connectivity to racks and critical power, Graybar brings the products and the experience data centers need now. And with deep inventory and logistics expertise, we keep projects moving from first delivery to final install. With hundreds of locations and a nationwide delivery fleet, we help you bring facilities online, on time, and on budget. Yep, Graybar does that.
Summer is on the way, or should I say the heat in St. Louis, it's on its way. Be here before we even know it. If you haven't had your air conditioners checked and set up and ready to go for this cooling season, or if you were told you might need a new one, or you just think this is the time of the year. This year is the time to just go ahead and replace it. Prices are down, 0% financing is available. It's still the best time to call me. Don't put it off. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It is 314-293-2600. Again, that's 314-293-2600 in Missouri and Illinois, or on the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. We are joined in our final segment here before we go to Cardinal baseball by Cardinals President of Baseball Operations, Chaim Bloom. Chaim, thanks very much for being with us.
It's good to be with you today.
What a day of baseball that was yesterday. An 8-1 win in Game 1 and a crazy Game 2 that ended up in a 7-6 loss in 11 innings. Not for a lack of effort, though. That was some comeback couple of times to make it a game. Let me talk about the first one first. I know you're in this business to win. You're in this business to be successful. You're in this business to make whatever team you are working for better, but you also, along the way, have human interest. And the Brian Torres story is some story. I mean, to see him smiling, being with family, everything that happened yesterday to him is unbelievably special, I thought. What were your thoughts after seeing him succeed yesterday in a Cardinal uniform?
Oh, man. I mean, for sure. Look, it's always that cliche of never give up, make him rip the uniform off of you. Usually you could say that, and usually the game being what it is and how hard it is to get to the big leagues, usually those stories don't end the way this one did, which is part of what makes it so special. Of course, for him, it is not the end. We hope this is just the beginning of a very fruitful big league career. But just to get to this point after everything that he's been through, and for those you've probably been talking about it this morning, but for those who don't know, there's been some good stuff in our media on his way to this point about everything he went through to get there. It's just phenomenal.
It really is. And then you have the story of Jordan Walker to go alongside it. He hits 2 more home runs yesterday as the Cardinals split that doubleheader. And Walker's doing this at an amazing clip, but I note body language all the time. And I saw it in his celebration yesterday. The Cardinals posted something on social media with that big chain around his neck. And he looked like, yeah, I belong here. This is what I do. I hit big home runs. He didn't say that, but I could see it in his face. He has changed immensely right in front of us.
Well, I'll tell you what, that homer in the night game, the at bat leading up to it, I mean, he obviously it's amazing. You think about, okay, he had a great at bat. He got a groove fastball. It wasn't. It was on the inside part of the plate, 95-mile-an-hour sinker. To do what he did with that was amazing. But he earned that pitch by how he navigated the at bat and falling behind early in it the way that he did. Getting a mistake fastball down the plate with 2 strikes, not quite squaring it up, fouling it off, and then, taking 3 pitches to get himself into that full count, the last one being a really, really good take. It's just a pro at bat. That was a big league AB, and it just shows you some of the growth that he's undergone.
You made a transaction official today in that Bryson Motts joins your team. What is the plan for Motts, who has made the rise through your system to this level?
Yeah, now we just need the rain to go away so we can actually pitch. Really happy for Bryson to get this opportunity. Basically the way that it fell with playing 2 yesterday and not quite having everything synced up to drop a starter in the way that we might in a different situation with a doubleheader. We ended up just using the 2 starters that were scheduled for those 2 games. That puts us in a situation where now, some point between now and Wednesday, we would need to have somebody else take a start just to keep all of our rotation guys on normal rest or better. So we decided to do it today, just fit best for the rest of the rotation, and Bryson has earned this opportunity. This guy was our minor league pitcher of the year last year. Another guy, you rewind 2 years, it was pretty much a lost 2024 for him, and somebody that really embraced the challenge of having a productive offseason leading into 2025, took full advantage of the resources that were available to him last year with our new pitching leadership, and got himself onto the 40-man roster, has been in our AAA rotation, and has put himself in position to get this opportunity. Funky left-hander. He's got different fastballs, different breaking balls, has really matured in his understanding of how to use them all, and offers a different look up there. So, he'll get a chance to see what he can do today against a really good lineup, and we'll see where we go from here. Like I mentioned, I mean, this opportunity was sort of created by the weather, but he's put himself on the map for it, and also happy. We want guys, products from within our own system, our own organization, to be lined up for these opportunities when we do have them.
Ryan Fernandez was the 27th man. He was dynamite yesterday. He returns to Memphis. Matt Swanson option to Memphis. Your thoughts on Swanson?
We still like him and believe in him, and I do think he's been trending in the right direction. I mean, this move really was just a matter of necessity because we did need to create the spot for Bryson, and we'll take full advantage of that time to hopefully continue sharpening the saw with Matt. He has been, obviously it was a really rough early going to the season. He has been moving in the right direction in terms of his execution, in terms of the consistency on his breaking balls. Obviously not fully to where he was last year when he was so dependable for us, but we feel confident that he's on his way back there and will get back there. So we'll take advantage of this time to make sure we continue to work towards getting him locked in.
Our time is limited here. We only have about 3 minutes left. I always like to throw a question from the audience to you, and this one's from Robert, asking for an update of your other minor league pitchers, Brandon Clark, Tekoa Roby, Ishan Henderson, Cooper Jerpy. That's a good question, actually. We haven't talked about those 4 here recently.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to be quick because I know we're on a time limit. I do love that you do the questions from the audience. I have tried every time I'm in front of a group of our fans always to take questions directly from them. With no disrespect to you or any of my good friends in the media, I always find the fan questions to be tremendous because our fans are so locked in, and I just enjoy talking directly with them. So appreciate that you do that. All 4 guys, obviously, injured and working their way back. Clark is coming back from this surgery. He had to address some of the circulatory issues that he was experiencing. Don't have an exact timetable on that. It's kind of a unique injury, and he's had kind of a unique journey with that, but he is on his way back, and hopefully we'll have more on a timetable as we get deeper into the spring and summer. Roby, now he's coming up on he's about 2 months out from being a year removed from his Tommy John. So we're really just with the schedule on those things, we're really looking probably more towards 27 for him to have an impact. Everything's going fine with his rehab. He's crushing it. He's such a hard worker. And we love where he was at when he went down. I mean, he's been through a lot of injury issues, but he made such strides as a pitcher in 25, and we're really, really excited to get him back. Obviously, no reason to rush that. We want to make sure that once he gets back from this, hopefully he can put all this injury stuff in his rearview mirror and be full go. We might see him a little bit near the end of this year, but really we're more targeting 2027 for him to carry a significant workload. Jerpy's on his way back. His Tommy John was more in the spring, so we should see him pitch as we get into the summer. Another guy who has really taken advantage of the time off. Obviously, you don't want to have that time off, but silver lining is he's been able to crush that rehab, and looking forward to him getting some work. And Ishan's coming back from battling some arm stuff this spring training. Again, don't have an exact plan or timetable for him. Would love to see him out there again. This guy was really emerged last year as a really interesting left-handed option for us.
Perfect summary, and you got us out just in time as we close in 45 seconds away from our break before the network, the Cardinals and the Reds. Let's get all that weather cleared up so we can get some baseball in today, Chaim.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the time. The Cardinals president of baseball operations, Chaim Bloom, joining us before Cardinal baseball. The Cardinals go for a series win today, and then, folks, buckle up. It's going to be a fun week. The Cardinals go to Milwaukee to play the Brewers. The Cardinals come home and play the Cubs next weekend. The NL Central, a run through the division this month for the St. Louis Cardinals. They are 2 games out in second place all by themselves. Thanks to producer Drew Young. Joe Pott joins us next on KMOX.
And now it is the Winter Dent & Company Insurance Keys to the Game. Chris Ranji, KMOX Sports. Series finale in Cincinnati. The Cardinals would like to take this one before continuing their road trip in Milwaukee tomorrow. Matthew Liberatore has to avoid the big late inning. He has given up 8 total runs in the 5th inning his last 2 starts. Keys to the Game, sponsored by Winter Dent & Company Insurance in St. Charles, Missouri, proudly representing auto owners insurance.
Good news, baseball fans. There's a new dream team, and this one doesn't have $1 billion payroll. I'm talking about the team at Advanced Carpet One. Our seasoned team is ready to take you from inspiration to installation faster than a four-seamer with special financing available. No matter what your vision is, from hardwood to carpet or tile, make that call to our bullpen of seasoned flooring experts today for big savings on your next project. So go ahead, don't get caught napping. Get a good jump and head into Advanced Carpet One today, here to floor you, Cardinal fans.
Spring cleaning rule number 1, out with the old, in with the new. And frankly, your family's old internet connection is a dinosaur. Upgrade to the 1 gig modern family standard from i3 Broadband. It's 100% true in-home fiber with equal upload and download speeds, so your teenagers gaming won't crash your video call. Even better, we're currently offering our longest price guarantees ever on our gig speed internet services. Say goodbye to exploding promo prices and hello to budget certainty. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right.
Pros, save more on the materials you need to get the job done inside and out at Lowe's. Right now, get 10% off in-stock Trex Naturals decking, now available in more styles. Plus, get 15% off select custom entry, interior, and storm doors. Then, we'll deliver it all straight to your job site to help keep your jobs moving. Get the brands pros trust.